All right, come in, you all. Let's get into the topic. 3 minutes and counting. Let's get into the topic. Cash flow is king, credit is queen, and crypto is climbing. We got Brandon Hicks. Hello, Brandon. We got Jesus Martin the First. Got my queen, Gwen, in the credit and cash flow room. Hello, Gwen from Dallas, Texas, and Brandon from North Carolina. You all make sure, let's go ahead and do our do nows for me. Whatever platform that you are tuning in on. Whatever platform that you're tuning in on, make sure you hit the thumbs up, right? Hit the thumbs up. Houston, Texas is in the house. Hello, Houston. Miss G's. Arbin Guy, hello to you, Arbin Guy. In the house as well. Glad to have you in. And let's do our do nows. Hit the thumbs up if you're on YouTube. If you are on Periscope, show some digital love. Right. I'm just reading some comments on my YouTube. Facebook, we're in the 5 minutes of fame. Let me put that across. 5 minutes, drop your city and state or say hello. So we have people coming in. Hello, Dietrich Kelly, if I'm correct, from Dallas, out of Dallas, Texas. Hello to you, Dietrich, as well. Hello, B from Virginia. Right, hello, B. Thank you all for tuning in. So this is the 5 minutes of fame, right? So if you're new to my channel, I am known in the credit and cash flow world as the queen of credit because of the results that I help people get with their credit, transition it from bad to good, from good to great, and from great, right, into cash flow, cash flowing assets and not liabilities, right? Gwen says, don't forget about the affirmation. I noticed the other replay, you switched it up, and I liked it. I don't even know what the affirmation was on the other replay. I forgot what it was, Gwen. You're going to have to help me because a lot of this stuff is just be impromptu on whatever I'm feeling in the moment. Hello, Ronnie. Hello. So I will try. Let me adjust that. But I will do this affirmation. I am attracting people who hustle versus hate, who focus on prosperity versus poverty, who value assets over liabilities, right? And who want to use credit to create more cash flow in their life. I try with that. So we're attracting people who are on that mindset in this live stream, right? That's the affirmation for this live stream. I really don't even know what I said in the other live stream, as we have 19 seconds and counting, right? 5 minutes of fame is ending. So after these 19 seconds, in order to get directly into the point, I can highlight the people, right? As time has expired, I think my mic was temporarily muted. So let me make sure I have positioned my mic away so we don't have those issues again. Let me know if you all can hear me well. The mic is good. The sound is good. Let me adjust this. Let me know if you all can hear me well. I think I had some microphone issues, right? Okay, Miss G's out of Houston, Texas. Hello. So I'm reading this article, right? I'm reading this article and and watching this article or viewing this article. I wanted to do a quick live because this really, really helped me to get some type of better clarity and understanding of teaching people why cash flow is king and why credit is queen, right? Not cash, but the cash flow. So I do not play the game of chess, right? I am surrounded by children that know the game of chess, right? And they play the game of chess, but I do not play the game of chess, but I oftentimes will study and look into it because I have a desire to learn the game of chess. I think if you learn the game of chess, it can just help you to be a critical thinker and a better mastermind, right? And a better mastermind. So I'm reading this article on chess, and I'm going to share it with you. And this was astonishing to me, right? Really stood out. And I feel like it can help me to help you all understand what it is that I'm trying to emphasize concerning your finances, and to teach you or to tell you that, or to just inform you that maybe, just maybe, everything that you've been taught about credit and cash flow is wrong, right? Just to challenge your thinking, just to make you think, to position you to do better financially. So I came across this article, Understanding the Value of Chess Pieces. And this really stood out to me. You need to understand 3 important details about the value of chess pieces, right? Look at the queen. The queen, the value of the chess piece of the queen, and this is why I state that credit is queen, is 9 points value, right? 9 points value. What really stood out to me is I did not even see a value point system for the king. And so oftentimes we often see quotes or sayings that cash is king, right? That cash is king. And I really related this because just like in a game of chess, your financial life, your cash can only have a point system. It only can be valued, people, if you can convert that into assets. And this is really the point I'm driving home and I'm trying to get people to make. That number one, cash is a depreciating asset. It is an asset, but it is a depreciating asset, meaning that cash is the lowest yielding asset when used 98%, I'll say 95%, because we do have 5% of the population who is wealthy. 5% of the population has acquired wealth or is considered in the rich or wealth category. So when 95% of the other population uses cash as a consumer, it is the lowest yielding asset that you can hold. Because at that point, it is not even an asset. It's just a transaction, right? Commodity. Something in order for you to make a transaction with. Whether you're buying groceries, depositing it for your housing, paying your bills, paying consumer debt, right? Paying for maintenance on your vehicles, paying for gaming or betting or recreational activities. Cash then becomes the lowest yielding asset that you can use or utilize for those purposes if you do not learn how to make cash become cash flow, right? And we're going to break that down, exactly what cash flow is and how not to convert cash, or how to convert cash into assets. So the king, unless it's the end game in chess, and if you all are chess players or even experts, feel free to chime in and comment. The king is not given a point system until the end game, like cash, right? We are using alliterations, right, to make you think. So the king does not have a point system in chess until the end game. Likewise with the financial game. If you don't know how to use cash and definitely don't understand cash flow, you will always struggle financially because you don't have or understand financial education, right? So let's go back to this. So the queen has the highest point value. Likewise, with your financial strategy or your financial life, queen in the credit game has the highest point value. Why is that? Now, because the queen can move in all directions, horizontally, vertically, diagonal, right? So this is considered the most valuable piece in the game, is the queen. Now the king is the most important, but the queen is the most valuable piece, likewise in your financial life as well. So now, what exactly is cash flow and why is cash flow king over cash, right? And what should you do with your cash flow and how should you utilize your credit, because your credit is the most valuable piece in your financial life as well, right? And so a king, although is the most important piece, right? And to my, let me read this. I read this and I wanted to elaborate on this as well. The queen is the most powerful piece, right? However, the king is not the weakest piece in the game, but a point value is not given to the king because the point value is typically about the value of pieces when it's changing them. You can't lose the king because this means losing the game. Let me emphasize this, people. If you lose cash and you lose cash flow, you're going to lose the game. Let me say this again. If you lose cash in your life and you also lose cash flow, you are going to lose the financial gain. You're going to lose this financial gain. So whether you make $40,000 a year or $400,000 a year, you have to learn how to manage your cash, right, and master your cash flow. I want you to all to put this in the comment, make a mind message connection, right? You have to learn, type this in. If you're not driving, if you are able to type, you have to learn how to manage your cash and master your cash flow. Manage your cash and master your cash flow. People, number one, manage your cash, but yet master your cash flow. So what is cash flow, right? Let's get this understanding or definition. Cash flow is dependent on things that we need to live. Your housing, transportation, food, utilities, entertainment, your savings. Note that savings is not investing. And this is the point a lot of people leave out. Taxes. Taxes. See, if you have someone that's trying to get you to make a budget and they do not include taxes in your budget, you can never master your cash flow. Do you all get that? We don't have that many people live, and I'm fine with it because I'm teaching you what you need to free yourself financially, right? Let me say that again. If someone is teaching you budgeting and taxes, and this, let me show you on the screen. If this is not included in your budget, if housing, transportation, food, utilities, entertainment, and savings are the only 6 essentials included in your budget, you will never master cash flow, because that's not the only equation or principle or pillar in order for you to be able to manage your cash, right? If you don't have these 7 pillars in your budget, you will never be able to master cash flow, ever. And this is the part that most financial gurus leave out, such as Dave Ramsey and Suze Orman, for example. So what is cash flow? This is our definition of cash flow. And I'm in a teaching mode, so we're going to roll with it. I know people love entertainment over education, but I'm just in the teaching mode. Cash flow is the inflow and the outflow of money in your or our financial world. Let me say this again. Cash flow is the inflow and the outflow of money in our financial world. See, people, this is what you all don't understand. Cash flow is just not how much money comes into you. It's how do you master the money that's going out to you, out from you. Now, can someone answer that? Someone answer that question for me that's in my live stream right now. How can you learn to master the money that's flowing away from you? We know that money or cash is often referred to currency. Currency relates to a flow. That's why it's often called currency. So currency and cash means inflow as well as outflow. This is why I tell people all the time why people budget and they're still broke. Because you have to have these 7 pillars in order to be able to master your cash flow. And taxes is the one pillar that most people that teach financial education, again, Dave Ramsey, Suze Orman, YouTubers, leave out. And I'm going to ask you all this question. Why is it that Dave Ramsey, for example, and Suze Orman suggests we should live within our means, and why this apply for everyone except, with the exception of the federal government? Have you all thought about that? Why is it that approximately 90%, right, where they tell us, or you've been taught to live within your means, where your income should be greater than your expenses, right? Isn't that what you've been taught? Live below your means. Your income should be greater than your expenses, right? But the only place that this does not apply is in our federal government. See, I'm coming live tonight to teach and to make you think. I'm going to pause right there. I'm going to pause right there. You've been taught to live within your means and that your income has to be greater than your expenses. And that applies to everyone except our federal government. And you've never been taught about credit or taxes in school. Right. It's all by design, because you, if you do nothing, if you do not change your strategy, will pay the government's debt. Cash flow is, again, the inflow and the outflow. It's also the amount of money you make and how frequently you make it. What do you mean by that, Queen? It's how frequently you make money, right? Let me show you this. Right, this is a rich world. I'm gonna get you all rich too. I wish the person that was on my live stream last night was back on there, because I love their name. And this is what the vision that I want for the people that join me in my live stream. I want us to think in terms that millionaires are us. Where is millionaires are us? I don't see them on the live stream. Millionaires are us. So cash flow is not only the amount of money you make, is not only the inflow and the outflow of money. Cash flow is also how you make your money and how frequently you make it. See, income is not cash flow. Income can pay you once a week, twice, bi-weekly, right? Bi-weekly, once a week, 4 times a month, bi-weekly, twice a month, or once a month. Those are usually the 3 ways in which income is paid, right? However, look at my home-based business. I'm not sure if you all can see this. Okay, now I think you can. Well, not that good. Let me angle it. See, these are text messages. Hey, y'all. How are you for today? Okay. Okay, so I muted for a sec. But what you just saw, look at that. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. You get paid every day. Every day. Now, the only way I can do this, people, is to convert my social security number into a corporation, to make myself a corporation and not an economic slave that's going to pay back the government's debt. It's the only way that you can get out of the rat race. Right? What is the rat race? That's the only way. So you have to convert your social into an EIN, an employee identification number. And people, contrary to what you think, you do not have to go out independently, alone, by yourself, solo, and start your own business. Now, I'm not against it, right? But if you know anything about starting your own businesses, you know that most businesses independently started on their own fail, right, within the first 2 to 3 years. And that's why I will highly encourage or highly recommend anyone that's seeking to start their own business, right? Because schools certainly don't teach us how to handle money. You can be well educated and not have taken one course, one personal finance course in your life. And then I have some people that say, well, I did take economy in school or business. You know what? You're not taking business from people that are currently successfully operating a business, right? That's what Robert Kiyosaki calls fake teachers. Teachers that teaching you about business, but never own or operated one on their own. So you have to convert the 7 pillars of wealth, your SSN, Social Security number, into an EIN. And even people that tell you, about starting a business and converting or starting with the LLC. This is all good. However, what they don't teach you is that people that is no different, for example, than being an employee or a sole proprietor, than going out on your own without a mentor or people in place to help you understand business practices and business marketing, right? Because this is what people don't understand as well. That in life, and I never understood this about finances, even with credit, right? Even with credit. People would think that coaches are not necessary when it comes to their financial life or credit repair. They feel like this is a do-it-yourself project. You can do it by yourself, but yet many people that's doing this by themselves still have bad credit, or they cannot show you the way or teach you the way to leverage your credit to get a better life financially, right? They're so afraid of debt because they have abused it and used it the wrong way, right? And so I'm going to pull up this credit report, for example. Some things I'm going to reveal or put in my book is about credit card redlining, right? Credit card redlining. A lot of people don't know what credit card redlining is, or better yet, simply put, credit redlining, right? What is credit redlining? Credit redlining is when you live in a certain zip code and you are automatically denied certain types of credit, right? Or you're just simply denied credit because, or denied the highest credit limits because you simply live in a credit risk geographical location identified by your zip code. Now, I did a credit analysis today, and this was this person's credit scores across the board. Two of their credit scores were below 600 for Experian and Equifax. However, they did have TransUnion that was almost at the 700 credit score, right? And so when I looked at this person's credit profile and wondered why, because they only had three negatives on their accounts. They had a lot of inquiries that need to be deleted, but they only had 3 current negatives on their accounts, which were 2 late payments and a collection. But I saw that geographically that this person probably lived in an area by their city and state listed on their credit report that they would not have higher credit limit accounts. And this person did not have a credit limit account, right, over the amount of $1,500. No credit card, no department store card, anything. Number 2, the second thing that prevented this person to be in the subprime lending category, which is between a 720 and a 760, which means subprime lending means that I get the same interest rates, lower interest rates, the better opportunities, right? The higher credit limits as someone that had in an 800 credit score, right? Was this person had secured credit cards, Credit One, for example, secured credit cards, Capital One, secured credit cards. And I have been informing people that if these two things, have a zip code and geographical location in which the poverty and income level is high, will automatically put you in a category as it relates to credit, no matter if your income is $150,000 a year. If most people that live in that zip code income, for example, is $50,000 a year, $40,000 a year, or $20,000, which is why most people that make $150,000 a year do not live in the areas where people make 50, 40, or 20,000 a year. The mindset, the community is totally different, right? For example, most people that make around under $50,000 a year believe that it's okay to have a luxury vehicle parked in front of an apartment, in which the vehicle, right, maybe valued more than whatever current resident that they're living in, or almost a house that's dilapidated where they don't even have a garage for a luxury vehicle to be in, but just a driveway and a yard. Or I'm from the South, I'm from Mississippi, a trailer park, but luxury vehicles parked in front of a trailer, right? These are most of them. So if you live in a zip code area with people in this income and credit score bracket, no matter if you would qualify income wise, you would only, right, receive a certain amount of credit limit because you have been redlined, right, or categorized as a high risk borrower. So where other people can live in other zip codes and get $50,000, $100,000 to invest or higher, you may only get $5,000 or $10,000. And I had someone to debate with me recently that, Queen, I got a secured credit card in order to get a 10-point increase. This is why, and I informed that person, you should have gotten primary credit cards, department store credit cards. And that's why I inform people about the $5,000 primary trade lines, because now you have a secured card reported on your credit or cards, and you are also redlined as a subprime category risk, which means it would be harder for you to get the better 0% interest rate, the higher credit limit, credit cards and loans, and business credit and business loans to acquire real wealth and real assets. So if cash flow is king and credit is queen, queen is the most powerful piece on the board. The king is the most important, because if you lose the king, if you lose your cash flow, people, you lose your cash, you've lost the financial game, right? Let's be honest. But cash flow is king because the two things that you have no control over, that cash flow does have control over, is taxes and inflation. Your pay raise at your job will not allow you to beat inflation. Your taxes coming out of your paycheck, 20 to 30%, will not allow you to stop the trend of living paycheck to paycheck. You cannot bring 50 cents on the dollar. And this is why a second job is not the answer for most people, right? Because a second job does not solve your taxes problem. You're still going to be taxed at a high rate because you are still an economic slave and an employee, and you have not learned how to transition your Social Security into an EIN. And see, let me give you this example as well. This is what most people don't get or understand. I tell people, if you are in a desperate situation and you feel like bankruptcy is your only way out, right? Bankruptcy is your only way out. You're in financial distress or disaster. What people don't get is they reference President Trump, 50 Cent filing bankruptcy. They don't understand that President Trump and 50 Cent filed Chapter 11 bankruptcies, right? Not Chapter 7 or Chapter 13. Both of these businessmen filed Chapter 11 under corporations. You have to convert your social to EINs and your personal name into corporations. I'm dropping some gems tonight. I really am. And, you know, the people that's live doesn't match the knowledge that I'm getting out, but that's fine too, because, you know, usually my views still will go up even after I live stream. You have to convert your born name. Yes, that name your mama gave you into a corporation name. And you have to convert your social into an EIN. If everyone that's watching live understand it, I want you to drop me a 1 in the comments. You don't get anything else tonight. I want you to get that knowledge. I want you to understand that. I want you to catch that. You have to change your the name, your born name that your mother gave you, right, to a corporation name. And you have to change your social that the government gave you. That's good. Into an EIN. Because the United States of America, people, is not a country. I know you've been taught this. I know you've been brainwashed. That's why I'm washing your brain now in a good way. Because you haven't, let me say it this way, you haven't been brainwashed. You've been brain toxed. I mean, your brain has been formed or informed with toxic information to keep you struggling financially. So you have to transform that name that your mama gave you, right, into a corporation name. And you have to, Nikki gave me 2 ones for 11, change that government social to now a government EIN. And this is the way you're going to get out of the rat race and get out of economic and slavery. Gwen Queen, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you supporting me and the channel. So people, this is why 70% of people are financially drowning. Now, Martin, I understand that the birth certificate and blah, 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 but I'm not going that deep. I'm not going here about your birth certificate can erase our debt. I'm telling people the beginning levels, because why try to learn how your birth certificate can erase our debt and you don't even understand taxes? And you're getting up working every day, right? Paying the government 30% from your labor. Let's get the foundation laid here. Let me be transparent with you all, for example. I was speaking with someone today, and they kept asking to, you know, kind of like a salesman. Let me see if I can rewrite your insurance policy for your home and for your autos. I said, listen, I've already have the best insurance policy. I said, you don't have to rewrite the insurance policy for my home and autos. I just got a quote approximately 2 years ago. I said, I'm fine. My insurance policy, because of my credit score, I saved $1,000 annually on my mortgage insurance. So I said, I'm fine. He said, well, let me just look at it. You just never. I said, okay, let me pull it up. So I showed him my mortgage insurance. I said, see, it's only $12.45 annual premium. I said, man, you can't beat that. He said, well, I may not. This was the shocker for me. He said, well, let's pull up your autos. Right? I got 3 autos. All of them paid for. No note. Debt free, right? Because vehicles are liabilities. They depreciate in value. And so I look at my auto and I forgot exactly what the numbers were. But my total premium for the year for both my home and autos, my autos was extremely higher than what I thought, right? Because we go on with life and our day-to-day activities and job. And you need to analyze this stuff every year. And my premium had increased on my auto, and because it was automatically drafted, I didn't even really recognize it. So my auto brought my total premium for my houses and my 3 vehicles to $4,200 a year. And I looked at him and I said, man, that's almost 2 months worth of work. I said, go ahead and do me a quote, because I'm not gonna pay this much. It's too much. That's too much for me, right? And I thought about that. I said, wow, you know how many people do not view their mortgage insurance annually, their vehicle insurance, even the insurances that come out of their paycheck, vision, dental, health, accidental care, disability insurance to replace your paycheck, then accident, and then they have cancer insurance, then they have non-cancer insurance. You know how many people don't really analyze that? You know how many people that if I ask right now, how much are your federal tax come out of your paycheck every pay period? Because some people don't have state taxes, right? If you're in Texas and Florida, for example, you won't believe how many people could not tell me on point how much or even estimate how much of federal taxes come out of my paycheck, but yet that's your largest expense. So this is why 70%, this is not the one I want to show you. 70% of people are financially drowning. This is why. Number one, because people would rather be entertained than educated, right? That's number one, right? Thank you again, Jesus and Gwen. And number two, why 7% of people are financially drowning, besides they don't recognize or know that they have control over their biggest expense, which is the federal taxes. They work a job which takes away your most valuable asset, which is your time, because you can never renew your time. And that's why people probably don't understand a lot of time. Why can't you just get on the phone with me for 15 minutes and talk to me? I just have it's always a quick question. Always a quick question. I tell people, because I do too many live streams where you have access to me to get on the phone with you for you to just answer a quick question, right? Because usually that quick question turns into a 30-minute conversation or they want free information about how to repair their credit, right? So then you work your job, you get your paycheck, which people recognize that they're financial lifelines. Now, this rat race doesn't show taxes, FICA, and insurances come out your paycheck. So now you get 50, maybe 60 cents on the dollar. And out of that, you have to pay bills, your basic living expenses and obligations. And then the rat race cycle goes to now I have to furnish my lifestyle, right? Clothes, jewelry, shopping, gadgets, movies, trips, vehicles, right? We all got to look the part. Devices, right? Furnish your lifestyle. And then we can add capitalism into this as well. Capitalism is every holiday that you have been mentally trained to spend money, right? Valentine's Day, New Year's, Mother's Day, Father's Day, spring break, right? 4th of July, back to school shopping in August, Labor Day, so many days, Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving. This is where you have been systematically trained by capitalists to spend your money. So now the lifestyle kicks in, right? Have the lifestyle. And then you have your debt, consumer debt, personal loan, payday loans. You all won't believe it. I'm from Mississippi, still have payday loans here, which is highway robbery. So you haven't learned the tax strategies of the rich. Credit card debt that you use to finance your trips and vacation, your shopping, your jewelry, your clothes, your devices, furniture loans, right? So now you have no money for savings and investment because debt, lifestyle, bills, and the federal government has taken your paycheck. So in essence, you make money only to spend money. And then you spend everything that you make. Let me say that again. You make money only to spend money, right? And then you spend everything that you make. Yes, Martin, birthdays, right? I'm sorry, Gigi, that you didn't get a notification. St. Patty's Day. So many different days designed to get you to be in a system of capitalism and debt. So Monique says, Queen, around 15 years ago, I got an EIN number and inked myself under Ray Reynolds in California for a business. Ray Reynolds was teaching whose crowd to learn this. He was jailed. Can I still use my EIN ink? I don't know Ray Reynolds. Definitely wouldn't have known him 15 years ago, right? I was in my early 20s. However, if you do not have any illegal actions connected to your EIN and your corporation, then yes, you should still be able to use it, Monique. And so these are things that you need, the foundation, that you need to rewrite your personal name into a corporation, your social security into an EIN, and you need to get a home-based business. Even if you want a brick and mortar business, you need a home-based business because, as I mentioned earlier, then I'm logging out because I got so much noise in the background. So I mentioned earlier, your 7 pillars, the only thing that can get you cash flow coming back in from spending on housing, utilities, transportation, food, your children, if you have them, who are assets as well, entertainment, and taxes. The only business, the only umbrella that money can flow back to you and you can master your cash flow and manage your cash is through a home-based business, people. It's the only one. If you don't have a home-based business in your portfolio, I don't care if you are an independent business owner, right? The tax deductions, the $475 from a home-based business is not available to you as an independent business owner, right? Can you take advantage of a home-based business for this year now? Yes, you can. You still have time to take advantage of it now. Even though it's October, you still can get tax write-offs for November and December to implement it for 2021. And you still can get the maximized money out of your paycheck to where you are taxed as a corporation and EIN versus your name and social. And I also recommend people in your home-based business to set up your home-based business as an LLC as well in your state. You don't need a holding company LLC, right? I have been researching holding company LLC, and this mostly for people that have many assets, right? Many assets. And so for the basic person, right, what they need is a basic LLC in their home state. And I recommend this for the home-based business because that when you have business tax deductions, you also have a Schedule C. And the Schedule C is the highest audit form, right, on your tax return. However, if you have it set up under an LLC, you can be less audited. And with the home-based business that I am affiliated and associated with and that I enroll people under, we have Tax Box, right? You get the Tax Box app. Many home-based businesses are product-based. They have no record keeping. And you have to have a lot of overhead, right? And you have to have sales because you have to now convince people to purchase or buy your product. My home-based business does not work that way. It's not product-based. You don't have overhead. You don't have to buy products up front, and you don't have to sell it to people in hopes that they'll buy it, right? So you want your LLC and your EIN to be connected together under the home-based business. Preferably, if you're already in the home-based business with me, you still can get your LLC and EIN and just call customer service and ask them to update that if you join under your regular name. But the thing about this home or any home-based business, if you're educated on it, that even if you join under your personal name and social, you still get the tax deductions. But I highly recommend that people do get an LLC just because of the audit risk is less under LLC name. And so it's never too late to get an LLC and get your EIN and just call the customer service with the home-based business and ask them to change that number in the system. Monique said they were all incorporated in Nevada for some reason. Can't remember why. Well, I know this about Nevada, Delaware, Wyoming. You have higher privacy protection and asset protection through those states. And so, for example, your LLC and privacy is more confidential than what it will probably be in your home state. Like Atlanta, Georgia, for example, California, New York, those states are known for a lot of lawsuits for people that do business. And so if you want privacy protection and higher asset protection, right, and also your taxes, then Nevada, Delaware, and Wyoming are the best to incorporate in. So are you still paying fees for your Nevada registration? Do you have a registered agent? You have a business address? And I'm not asking you this to consult you on this. I'm just asking. Okay, Jesus says Nevada also has no state taxes. However, sometimes when you're doing business in other states, you still might be subject to that state tax or those state taxes that you are conducting the business in, right? Even though if you're not conducting business within Nevada. So that's the first trade line. That first primary trade line was for the My Jewelers Club, and the second trade line is the same. It doesn't have the K in it. It's for New Coast Direct. They give people $10,000 of primary credit limit reporting directly to their credit report. How often do you have to use the trade lines to keep it open? I tell people, inform people to use it, make a transaction on it at least once a month and pay it off in full. All right, so Ray Reynolds, let me Google him, then I'm logging off. Let me just see who Ray Reynolds is. So how much does it cost you annually to operate your LLC in Nevada? Let me see. Ray Reynolds, corporate credit, Ray Reynolds. Also credit repair. Is this the person you all are talking about? Because I don't know. Good evening, Curtis. Let me know if this is the person you all are speaking of. I'm not sure. It said raise credit. Join our elite credit webinar. Learn about personal and business credit. Learn the proper way to set up your corporation. Enhance your credit knowledge. Is this the person you all are referring to? Because I don't know. I'm not sure if this is the person you all. Let's see, corporations, credit reveal, credit refresh. Let us set you up. Articles and corporation with the Secretary of State. File the officer's list. Get an EIN. Can someone tell me, start your business, learn everything you need to know to start your business, to protect your asset. When forming a corporation LLC, you must know what it will maintain. Amount of credit lines, you get $10,000 credit line for $1,400. $2,500 credit line for $2,900. $50,000 credit line for $5,900. Credit rebuild. No price quote for that. So I'm not sure if this is the person that you all are talking about. Are you paying this every month? Are you paying your LLC corporation state to stay established every year, Monique? So I don't know. So what was the purpose of opening up your LLC through them? There's millionaires of us. Hello. I'm going to make an affirmation to everyone that's a part of this family. Millionaires of us will be millionaires. We're going to be the are us in your name. We are millionaires. That's who we are. Millionaires are us. I think I saw that you sent me an email. I'm going to check it when I get off this live stream. Sandra, Okay. Yep. So I'll check the email, but I don't know anything about that person. Um, and so, if you still have that Nevada corporation, are you trying to do real estate with it? Yeah, Martin, it's a wonderful name. Love it, love it, love it. What are you trying to do with the corporation? Why did you incorporate it? What was the purpose? Because I don't know anything. But hey, I'm logging off. You all have a great night. So Monique, what was the purpose of you establishing that corporation in Nevada? Before I log, I just want to know the answer to that. And as she's answering that, and Mark said, what did he get jailed for? Yeah, thanks everyone. All right. Here's to your health and wealth, your peace and prosperity, your credit and your cash flow. So I hope that I taught you all what you need to know about the foundation. All right, credit is queen, subprime lending concerning your geographical location and why you do not want to get secured credit cards. Also, teaching you that cash flow is king and cash. I also, explain why. And Monique said he was giving too much knowledge. People getting credit cards and not paying. That's why he got jailed. Monique, okay, so I guess Monique, you purchased or invested in a Chef Corporation, which was supposed to help you get larger funds and business credit. So I'm assuming that's why he informed you to do that. But Chef corporations are no longer effective. Neither is trade lines. Now I'm not sure if those trade lines were business trade lines, right? They were $25,000, $50,000 reporting. So I'm assuming that they probably were business trade lines versus personal trade lines. I'm not sure. I don't know much about them. He said Monique was deep in the game. However, you all need to go back, watch this replay, why you need to convert your personal name into a business name, a corporation, your EIN to a social, and the 7 pillars of wealth so you can get out of the rat race and stop living paycheck to paycheck. Or if you get paid on Friday, as the queen of home-based business, Dr. Lynn Richardson says, stop living from paycheck to Monday, right? For the people that get paid Friday and then you're already broke on Monday. Learn how to keep more of the money you make. You can't budget broke, but you can strategize your way to thousands, right? Jesus said, oh, this is over. Jesus, I'm just going to have to put in the book, I guess. Because one thing I thrive myself on is trying to teach things simple and then adding up pillars. And so that's why I'm just trying. The simplest way I can put it, people, credit can take you places that your income cannot, right? You need to know redlining. Some credit strategy for some people is you're going to have to get another zip code. You're definitely going to have to stop getting secured credit cards, right? That's why I tell people I want a secure credit card, because you have to learn how to manage your money like the rich. Right? You have to learn how to manage your money like the rich. And one thing the rich do not do is overpay or pay high taxes. They don't file Chapter 7 and 13 bankruptcy. They file Chapter 11. And they own nothing, but they control everything. You control things through your business and corporation. And also, they leverage income. That's why I talk to people about the home-based business versus labor income. And they don't work solo. They work in teams. They have smart financial teams. And they don't take advice from broke people. And they get coaches, right? They get coaches. We understand a personal fitness coach. We understand a coach to help you eat healthy in some cases. Some people don't. We understand a coach for sports. But people don't want to be coached about finances. And this is what I don't understand. You haven't been taught about credit and taxes in school. When are you going to allow somebody to coach you and teach you? Because it's systematically designed so you can't learn or that you don't learn, right? So have to give yourself credit, people, because credit is queen, the most powerful piece on the board, because money or cash does not grow on trees. But it can grow from your EIN. Let me say this again. You have to give yourself credit because cash does not grow on trees, right? But you can use cash and our credit and debt to get assets and stop using your credit and debt to get liability. Your credit can get you what your income cannot, right? So Zeus said we need 5 more people. Good evening, Cloud. So again, I'm logging off. I got some emails and some things to do. Just want to bring you that information to you. You all have a great night. Thank you all for tuning in. And if you didn't hit the like button, go back and hit the like button. Yes, Brian is my millionaire mentor as well. He's my millionaire mentor as well in our home-based business. Queen of Credit out. You all have a great night. Monique, if you had a business account and articles of incorporation, and if it's your business, yours, you didn't buy a shelf business, if it's yours personally, you should still be able to utilize, if you still is paying your annual to keep it operable, right? It's not dissolved, right? Then you should still be able to leverage that business to get business credit. The best way to start off with perfect credit at a young age. Ayo, what's your age, Marco? Okay. Ayo, Marco, the best way to start off with perfect credit at a young age. And Madden, so I was about to log off. You all. It's the number 1. Utilize someone in your family that has credit cards in good standing and ask them, okay, 18, and ask them to add you as an authorized user on their credit cards, right? Good standing credit cards will mean they've never paid late, they pay on time, they have no late payments, perfect paying history. Credit cards are the only tool that can be used to pass generational wealth. I didn't even think I got into this. These are the things, the 3 assets you need. 4 assets for generational wealth. The 4 things you need for generational wealth. Ayo, credit cards are one of them because credit cards are the only credit tools you can use to add your children on as authorized users so they can inherit your credit history. The other ones, besides credit and a cash flow in business, I recommend my home-based business because it comes with the education and the documentation text box that you need. It's probably going to be 5. Is real estate and insurance. All of these pass generational wealth. Real estate, insurance, credit cards, cash flowing, home-based business. I think I got it right. So that's 4. Real estate, insurance, credit card, a cash flowing home-based business. So that's 4, not 5. I don't know. I'm getting a little tired. So Ayo, grandmother, aunt, uncle, make sure the balance on that credit card is preferably at least 20% or 0. Maybe they use the card every month and pay it off in full. That means if they use it every month, pay it off in full, they'll never charge interest. So hopefully they're using it that way. However, make sure that they're ratio, for example, if it's a $5,000 credit limit, right? If it's a $5,000 credit limit, still need queen dog. If it's a $5,000 credit limit, then they need to have a balance of less than $1,000, right? Less than $1,000. Now, the other way to build AO generational or to start out with a good credit is, let's say, for example, with Queen, everyone in my family has bad credit, right? I can't do that. The very first thing I would tell you to do, AO, is don't get in student loan debt. Please don't get in student loan debt if you cannot, if you can help it. Because what most people don't understand is it's a reason why student loan debt is the easiest debt to obtain at 18 years old. Have you ever asked yourself, how can I get $50,000, $60,000, $30,000, $40,000, $100,000, $200,000 of student loan debt quicker than a credit card, quicker than the business credit, right? Avoid student loan debt at the highest. Most people don't even ask, why can I, get a refund on this student loan? What if my education didn't pay me out the amount? What if my return on investment, right? I got in $100,000 student loan debt for this career, and this job, I can't even find a job in the industry in which I majored in. AO, do not file for the okie dokie of getting student loan debt. However, I do tell students this: if you want to invest in real estate and rental properties, and you're in school, and you want to use student loan debt in order to acquire real estate and rental property and assets, right? Not for you to reside in, but for you to rent out to others, then I do, because you can't get a low interest rate, recommend it if you're using it for that strategy and that strategy only. But other than that, right, try to go to a community college if it's something you really want your first 2 years, where a lot of people start off with, they go right into university and colleges and pay high thousands of dollars, not really even sure of if this is what they really want to major in, but it's more of a prestige thing. When Charles, yeah, that's the link. Thank you, Jesus, for the home-based business, Mr. Davidson. And it ends up being a waste of time, because your first 2 years of college, you're just trying to find yourself, and you may not. Now, there are some young people that are sure, but when you go to college, do like the Jews do. They teach and train their kids, right, how to major in careers that's going to pay off a high rate of return. So get some counseling, consulting about what you're majoring in, so they can give you a better rate of return financially. And a lot of times you can save money and pay cash by just going to community colleges first, right? I also recommend you look at some career ideas such as IT, graphic designs. That's where we are moving into 2021. And I said I was going to talk about crypto. So now, AO, if you don't have any family members, I would then recommend that you first get these primary trade lines. These are the link, www.bit.ly/5000 trade line. The second one, www.bit.ly/5000K trade line. And then keep those for approximately 90 days, right? Buy the products off of those sites, pay them off in full by the statement closing date, not the due date, right? The statement closing date. Well, that's with credit cards, but on these cards, department store cards, they may just have a balance date reporting. I'm not sure. And then after 90 days, you want to apply for a student credit card. And preferably the student credit cards for students with no credit, right? I would not recommend that you do that with Capital One, just because of where Capital One is right now as far as cutting credit limits. So just Google 6 best or the best credit cards with students with no credit. Because you have two $5,000 trade lines already reporting, your first card will probably be at least a $5,000 credit limit. The one that I probably will recommend you try or attempt first is the Discover It Student Cashback credit card. Now, if you're an adult and you're listening to this as well, you have thin or no credit, then you probably need to take this advice and these steps as well, right? The Discover It, get that at a $5,000 credit limit. Then after you've gotten a $5,000 credit limit card, pay it on the statement date, right? And not the balance due date. And I will prefer if you paid it full off every month, because we want your first credit card to stick with you for life, because 35% of your credit score is calculated off your history, how long you've had credit. We want this to be a card for life, right? So we don't want you to get your first card and default on it or mess it up. Let me see what other card besides. You got Bank of America student credit card. I would recommend Bank of America. And also the Chase Freedom Unlimited cards, right? So get your cash back. That's if you have very thin credit profile. I also recommend at 18, highly recommend that your first or the vehicle that you get financed or you purchase, that you always purchase pre-used, right? You don't want a lemon or something that's over 5 years old, but you want a car that's well maintenance, pre-used, because vehicles depreciate. So you don't want to purchase brand new, right? And they have interest rates for used vehicles as low as 1.9%. AO, I also recommend as well that you become a part of Navy Federal or Penn Fed Credit Union if, again, you have any family members who are already members of Navy Federal and Penn Fed. Because we are in a recession, Navy Federal and Penn Fed, and those are the kings of credit unions. If you can get in, they have the highest credit limit cards. So after you get your personal $5,000 credit card, go through credit unions, they often have the higher credit limit credit cards, and use those responsibly. Pay on your statement date. Then you want to start applying for credit unions cards as well, right? Then after that, get a vehicle finance at very low interest rate, right? We don't want over 5%. And I would rather you get it financed versus paying cash for it if all possible, just to, at a low interest rate, just to start establishing good credit. Pay that vehicle. Keep your credit score high, because the higher your credit score, the lower your insurance premiums will be as well. If you're looking, or if you're in need of a vehicle, right? And those steps will position you to have good credit. After you maybe find for a family member is a part of Navy Fed, and you can join and become a member and start applying for those credit cards and get high credit limits, then I would recommend that you learn business skills and principles and start applying those. Even if it's with the home-based business, we have private Zoom trainings, we have comprehensive training. It covers every part of your financial life. Again, I said the 7 pillars. The 7th one most people don't understand is taxes. You definitely need to learn the tax and business game early on. You get personal training. You can ask questions and get answered in real time, right? And it's an interactive platform with hundreds of people. And it's massive engagement. And you're a community with like-minded people, right? And you can be a part of our mentor who's earning $50,000 a month. My thing is the best way to be a millionaire is to be connected with one in business. That's what I love too about the home-based business versus just doing one on your own, because people don't understand the importance of having a millionaire as a mentor. The mindset is different. Having access to that is different, right? Oftentimes people cannot go further than their mentor, right? So getting started is very simple. It's not a high overhead. We already have the marketing and every information of how you need to share it and expose it to people in place for you. And you can get paid every single day, right? Every single day. So also, I would recommend that you also, and someone asked me what is my fees, go to my website. You see it strolling at the bottom, fixmycreditandcash.com, and go to credit help. And that's how you get access to me to further give you an estimate in fees. So I don't recommend, I don't know if Ayo asked a question. Oh, I see it. Let's say I get a $5,000 card with a 5K limit and I only send like 1% or nothing at all. Does that boost your credit? I'm thinking you saying spend. Just know that no activity on a credit card, right, will eventually, I got you, will eventually result in that card closing, which will lower your credit score. And so if you have a card with a $5,000 limit and you spend 1%, I recommend that you spend your credit card on things that you will purchase anyway. And that's why I like the cashback reward cards, because in this way, you use your credit card like you would a debit card and you get rewarded for it financially, which means as prices increase all around you, right, you're getting a percentage of that back. So yes, like gas, like groceries, right? Things you would buy anyway. Oh man, I love teaching young people because you don't get opportunity to get your brain toxed. And I coach. It's easier to teach a person that comes to you like a blank sheet of paper than it is to teach somebody that thinks that already have their mindset. Because now you have to, it's easier to teach someone that comes to you like this, right, that knows nothing, than someone that have all of this in their mind and brain that you have to break through to get them to take action. So I love the innocence of teaching the youth. And so, yes, things that you will buy anyway. And then I would highly recommend, Mark, AO, that you just pay it out full every month. Get in the habit of only purchasing things with a credit card that you will have the money in your checking account to pay it out full at zero balance every month and continue to reuse and recycle and repeat. I do not recommend carrying over a balance. Both links take you to my jewelers. Give me 1 second, Jesus. I also recommend that you follow this young man on YouTube. I think he's like 20 years old. Follow him, YouTube Credit Consulting. He may be more relatable for you within your age group. He gives a lot of education about credit cards. He's saying he was approved for $1,500. Sam's business credit cards, $1 million in credit with Amex. So these, just follow him. He's young and you may be able to relate to him. So those are all the steps I recommend for you, young man. I wish you well. The last step is to get you a business-minded woman. Please do not connect with the lady that will be controversial to you trying to build wealth. Right? You're young. You got a fresh start on life. Now, Jesus, this one takes me. It took me. This is the five. This one goes to New Coast Direct. Get you a woman that's interested in financial education, because number one stressor in marriage, besides sex for men, is money and finances. Okay, AO. So Jesus, that's the one to New Coast Direct. And the other one with the K is to My Jewelers Club. You're welcome, AO. Thank you so much. And then let's discuss crypto, and I'm signing out. Wasn't planning on being on this long. So, Bitcoin, last time I is at $12,937. It's up 8% today. I have earned today, we're talking about cash flow, $1,000 from Bitcoin, up 8%. Today's cash flow from that. Ethereum is up 6%. Ethereum is up 6%. My cash flow today from Ethereum is $3,010.77. XRP is up 3.78%. This is not financial advice. I'm just sharing with you one of my cash flowing strategies. Zcash is up 7.47%. Chainlink 6.55%. And EOS up positive 4.65%, and Cardano 3.25%. And Litecoin is lit, right? And coming in at 14.35% today. What's up with crypto? So, hey, I'm signing out for the 5th time. I think you all have a great night.